folks. We are on live. Episode 19. 2021. Cardone's Evening Hour Live. The first one of the new year. Here it comes. What's up, everybody? Come on in, grab a drink. Evening hour starts. Happy New Year. And I got a cool show tonight. You're gonna like this. I got notes. Who do we have? All right. Come on in, people. Perfect. Folks, I'm Cardone. This is Evening Hour Live. If this is your first time watching, hit that subscribe button. We got a crew in here. I got Talon, William, Amanda, Rod. Who else is in here? Come on in, folks. Grab a drink, and I'm going to start this show. I got things to do, stuff to talk about. You're going to like tonight, I think. Tonight, we're going to talk about the new year, New Year's resolutions, and, oh yeah, my mascot incense burner. No, I'm joking. The incense is, look at that, it's not working. Anywho, how was your New Year's Eve, folks? Oh, thank you, Amanda. Eric, what's up, brother? Yeah, I'm a Killer Clowns fan. Yeah, if you're new, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and as you all know, it's hard. If you're a YouTuber, yeah. How was your New Year's? What's up? I have a lot to talk about. I have some things I want to show you. I had a pretty awesome New Year's. Oh, let me know if this sounds good too. I'm going to get a new camera sooner than later. It's going to happen. So my New Year's was pretty mellow. I actually ended up doing a lot of work New Year's Eve. As you know, I'm doing the satanic cards thing. And my partner, who I work with, is in Hong Kong. So we do like late night, early morning kind of work sessions. And so that's what I was doing. Right now, check this out. I've got my playing cards. Bam! Now, the Kickstarter is over. It's done. But if you go to satanicplayingcards.com, you can sign up. Because soon, M. Diaboli is going to be in business, and you will be able to get cards and t-shirts and all sorts of stuff. So, check it out. Folks, if you guys had New Year's resolutions, I want to hear about them. Because I'm going to talk about mine, ones I had in the past, and why most of you, when you do New Year's resolutions, you fail. And we'll talk about that tonight. Because it fits into everything I talk about. It goes right in. It's the same thing. Yeah. Upcoming shows. The two I'm working on. So my game show, Boardgasm, I'm going to be doing this one right here. Secret Hitler. It's a funny name for a game. This got good reviews. The other one out. My computer just jumped. Hold on. No, just wait. Let me know if you're watching this and it's still on. Because I just saw the chat jump. Okay, cool. I think it's working. Now, William... Oh, Elizabeth. What's up, Elizabeth? How are you? Elizabeth, you should chime in on this stuff, too. I think you'll have a lot to say, too. Okay, cool, William. Thank you. William said something that I'm going to bring up later. William said, I do not believe in creating New Year's resolutions as they are for those who aren't already on top of their personal success and happiness goals. Okay, what you said is great. Now, I do resolutions, but what you're saying is kind of awesome. So I'm going to bring that up in a second, okay? That goes into the toxic kind of positivity thing, and you're really going to like some of the things I bring up, William, tonight. Anyhoozles, I lost my train of thought. So check this out. Two things. This blows my mind. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way so you can see. A friend of mine named Chris Jones, he's a musician that I've worked with before. We're friends. He sent me a present. He found something, and he was like, I think you're going to like this, and I just want to show you. Ba-boom. Look at this book. Mastering Witchcraft. 1970. I love 60s and 70s witchcraft books. And this one here I think I'm going to like because I think it goes a little dark. Which, it's not very flowery. It's a little spookier, which I prefer. And some of you know this. Elizabeth, you know this. Most of you know this. My favorite movie, one of my favorite movies in the world, is Dracula with Frank Langella. If you've never seen this film, I highly recommend it. It didn't do so well when it did okay when it came out in the movies, but it's got A-list acting, some great directing, but I gotta tell you something, it looks weird. It almost looks like a black and white movie. They took the color palette and they dulled it for spooky effect. So they then released this recently. I think last year this came out. It's the same film, colorized. It's not colorized, it's they brought the color back. So check that out. Well, Amanda, if you've never seen it, you will be blown away. Trust me. This guy here as Dracula, Frank Langella, he's an excellent actor, and he brings something to it that I really like. He's powerful, romantic, scary, but he's got a very likable quality. So if you like Dracula, vampire stories, and good acting, you will love this movie. I think Elizabeth, yeah, she just saw it for the first time recently, which is why it was sitting here and it reminded me. Look, check it out. I cannot wait to watch this. Yeah, so I wanted to show you that. I could talk a long time about this movie. What time is it? Do I have time? All right, I'm going to mention a little anecdote about that movie. Elizabeth, you just saw it, I think, so you will remember this. See, she likes it. So, Donald Pleasance is in this film, along with Sir Laurence Olivier, okay? It's like crazy acting cast. In the behind-the-scenes footage, the director and actors talk about how annoying it was to work with Donald Pleasance. And the reasoning is weird. So whenever Donald Pleasance does an acting scene in a film, he started doing this thing, and it's a sneaky trick, where he does something really quick after he says his line. And his character in that film is always eating cough drops. If you watch it, it's a bag of cough drops. So he'll say a line. He'll be like, oh, good doctor, what do you think to do? And then he'll eat something right away. Well, it makes it hard to edit the film. And they actually told him not to do it. But then they realized he was doing it so that his pieces couldn't get edited. It was to, like, preserve them. So he would do these weird bits that made it hard to edit. And they were, like, freaking out over it. And they actually mention it in the behind the scenes, which means it's probably real. You wouldn't bring that up. It's so weird. Love the movie. Sir Laurence Olivier, if you've ever seen his Shakespeare films from the 60s and 50s, dude, they made him a knight. I mean, he's, like, legit. Check it out. All right, let's keep moving. Yeah, my show is going to be entitled on Behind the Devil's Curtain, UFOs and Baloney. And it might be this Friday. I'm not sure yet. I need everybody here, though, to do their own homework. I want everybody here to look up, what the Pentagon has released about UFOs. You should know. If you didn't know, you should look it up because you're going to freak out when you see it. And also look up Bob Lazar. Lazar. Bob Lazar. Sounds like laser, which is funny. There's a documentary on Netflix right now about him. I don't like that movie, but you should still see it, or at least part of it. It's a horrible production. Oh, I'm listening to the background music. So let's move this on, man. I want to get to the meat because you guys have stuff to say about this. I know you do. And I want you to bring it up. William, you brought up something I need to, we'll get into. So New Year's this year, every year for the last 8 or 9 years, I've done the Polar Bear Plunge, which is, oh, cool. See? Yeah, the people that watch my show live, you guys are cool. You guys actually are, you pay attention. I do polar bear swimming because it's the greatest way to start the year. You're starting the year by symbolically doing a mind over matter exercise. I don't like the cold. People assume I like cold water. I hate it. But it's good for you. So if you force yourself to do it, you know, you feel good. I like doing it on New Year's Day in the morning. It's like, it's a symbol. This year, they canceled it at Coney Island. So I went and did it literally right here by my house, which is the Atlantic Ocean anyways. And it was beautiful. It wasn't that hard. The air was warm. So the water was freezing, but the air was fine. I got out and I was able to hang outside in my bathing suit for a while. So that's a ritual of sorts to bring in the new year, right? But I'm going to be honest, like most people quit smoking, quit drinking. That's the day they symbolically do their I'm making a new life. Meanwhile, they usually have a hangover, which I find ironic. What am I doing? I was trying to drink it out of the can. So I used New Year's Eve to successfully get rid of tobacco 7 years ago. 4, 5, 6 years ago. 7 years ago. And I haven't smoked since, and I have no desire to smoke anything. I used to smoke cigars, pipe, tobacco, and I used to like chewing tobacco. Crazy, right? My favorites were expensive cigars and expensive pipe tobacco. English, not the sweet stuff, the smelly stuff. But I haven't had it since. I can't do it. I've used New Year's to symbolically quit. But here's the thing about resolutions. Most of them fall apart. And like William said, yeah, people don't. If you're not on top of your success game, you don't need to do that because you've already worked in the habits. Yeah, here we go. Look, my chat group's got some. They're yeah. Talking about cryo and cold therapy. It's real. It's really real. Cold therapy works. It makes your nerves stronger and everything. So here I did some research on New Year's resolutions and why people fall apart on them, and right away it went straight to the Stoics. It went right to Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, which is his teacher. It went to Seneca. I mean, they all talked about these things. People have been making resolutions since the dawn of time. And it's a thing. I mean, it's a symbolic thing and can be ritualized too. You can make a ritual out of it. Now, the reason why a lot of people, I think, fall apart, and I wrote some notes on this, it's in why they work. So listen, a New Year's resolution, if you want it to work, whether it be for New Year's or your birthday or whatever, but if you want to change, one of the things that's interesting, and I'm going to mention this right away because this blows my mind. If you tell somebody that you had a resolution, Facebook, Twitter, hey, everybody, I quit smoking. Hey, I'm going to start a new business. Whatever. It causes a dopamine blast that actually satisfies you enough that you don't need to do the actual activity. It takes away from it a little bit. So there's evidence that says that by making a resolution publicly, you limit your chances. But I'm going to tell you right now why I think, well, okay. One of the major reasons why they fail is this. And then I want to talk about it. This is so cool. So they found out that if you make a resolution and you go, hey, I'm going to quit smoking. But I'm going to have to focus on it. I'm going to have to do exercises and meditate every day, or else I'm not going to be able to do it. A year later, if you have one New Year's resolution and it's simple, there's an 80% chance of it sticking. It's pretty high. But if you add one more resolution to that, like I'm going to get healthy by doing yoga and I'm going to quit smoking, each one of those goes from 80 to 35%, which is pretty bad. It's a big jump. So what do? Well, right here, people are talking about it already. You guys are already on this, which is great. So I think that symbolically doing things, I'm going to start talking about my own stuff now. It helps, right? Ritualizing. Me doing it on New Year's, me writing it on paper and then burning it. Me symbolically taking a sword and cutting a rope as a symbol of cutting ties with somebody. And I always thought, if I post it publicly, I gotta do it now, right? It's almost like you're setting it in stone. That's me. That's not everybody. It's very solipsistic for me to think that it's my way is the best way. Oh, here we go. William doing greater rituals. Okay, dude, William's bringing up all sorts of stuff. That's awesome. You are on fire tonight. Yes, I do that too. I'll ritualize things with my eyes closed in a room in my mind. It can do this. It can be the same. It's a form of meditation. I like telling people about certain things I have as goals. And I like not telling people other ones and surprising them later by going, hey, look what I've been working on, you know? Yeah. I'm actually of the belief that for some people, publicly saying it might be good. But I think that number's actually probably not that many. Which is funny. I always thought it might be the other. But if you keep your resolution or your life change simple, it's a little easier to manage. And that goes into what I was talking about weeks ago. If you want to change your life, you have to change your belief. Your belief system about whatever it is has to shift. It's not a physical thing. It's not an activity. It's not even a habit at this point. It's a belief. How do you get your belief to change? Well, we're always talking about this. The fake it till you make it, doing ritual, all of those things are ways to brainwash yourself. If you're going to get brainwashed, you might as well do it to yourself, not have an outside influence. So, yeah, a mindset change is a belief change. Correct. Yeah, that's it, William. So, if you keep things simple and honed in on one thing, it's a little easier, right? All right, then another way to get it rolling is a routine, right? Now, here's the thing about making a routine or a daily ritual, because you might be in the habit of doing something, but it's not a ritual. It's not an actual conscious ritual. It's a habit. If you make a conscious ritual, you do it over every day. Now, here's the problem. You got to do it every day. It's got to be a real ritual, and you can't flake. You can't be cheap to yourself. None of this works if you do that. Now, there are those that say, if you have a resolution, get healthy, you need to... Oh, Amanda says this is... All right, so you're going to like this. There's tricks to this, to pull off stuff. If you have a ritual and a goal, and you are successful at a short-term goal, like I need to start doing yoga 3 times a week, and you do it, you reward yourself, right? But you don't reward yourself by going back to a bad habit. For instance, skipping yoga. Bad. You don't do that. If you've been going to yoga successfully and you're like, yay, I'm going to take off yoga for a week. Bad. Or, I've been on a diet, I'm going to cheat and eat a bunch of junk food. Bad. Because that's now messing with the belief system that you're trying to establish. So, create a routine, but take it really seriously, okay? That's one thing. The other one is replacing the bad habit with the good habit. Now, we've all heard of this before. What does that mean? So, years ago, I quit drinking. And when I quit drinking, again, I needed something to do. Like, it's like, God, I want to go out and drink. Well, I started painting miniatures way more than I normally would. I used to paint here and there. Then I started painting mass quantities, like lots. If you know me, you'll see I have thousands of miniatures, right? Because it was like smoking a cigarette or drinking. It was like, I need to go have a cigarette, right? But I like that hobby. So I replaced it with something nice, something meditative, something positive, and something I like. What is this I wrote? Okay, yeah. I wrote this down. When you share your resolution, you get a dopamine blast. It's social reality. What are they calling it? Very social reality. It's like a weird thing. It's like it becomes real because you've socially shared it, even though it never happened. Oh, here's a resolution I made years ago, and I did a show on it. It wasn't a New Year's resolution, but it was a resolution, and that was, I'm going to go running with the Bulls this year. I'm going to raise money to go do it, and I'm going to go pull it off, and I'm going to train however I need to. And because I announced it publicly, I think it helped. Because I knew people that wanted to see me do it. I knew people that were like, I've never done it. I'm never going to do it, but I want you to do it because I know you're going to be able to come back and tell some stories about it. And they'll get a first-hand account. So I felt like, yeah, I get it. Like, there are old people that have never done this before, and they want to hear first-hand accounts out of me doing it. It gave me a reason to go, too. It's like, I'm doing it for myself, but obviously people want to know about it, and it's cool. It's great. William wrote, routines and habits are great to keep a mindset focus in line. Bam, bam, bam. True. Yeah, eventually things that you don't like to do, you don't mind. You don't love them, but you don't mind. And you can grow to love them. It's possible. Like doing the dishes, I hate it. Now when I do the dishes, if I have to do them, like a lot, which I did today actually, I have a thing I do. I work. I go into my mind palace. I put headphones on and I start running routines and stuff. So, so this guy here's getting the satanic cards, clearly. His name is Hail Satan on the show. Yeah, cool, bro. Thank you. Rick Sherman, buddy. You just said something, too. He said, if I talk too much about a story idea, I will never... If I'm talking weird tonight, it's because I bit my tongue. It hurts. Oh. The t-shirts will go out fast. You'll get the shirts early. So somebody said, Yeah. Okay. Talon, right up. Sharing goals gets you people praise, not progress praise. That's exactly it. That's why you don't get, you get, a dopamine blast because everybody's like, yay! But it's not, there's no work. Nothing happened. Wait, Amanda says Satan is on my bank statement. What does that mean? That's funny. I like that. Is that the name of the bank? Yeah, goals are funny, man. People forget. They always set long-term goals, but they forget the little short ones are the important ones. Because that is where you feel the glory on the way up. And you have to have some, or you'll lose your mind. So you got to set smart short-term goals. So Amanda said she has trouble with, dealing with some of this stuff. Everybody does. I mean, honestly, most people do. Even I do. Some people think, see, from the Kickstarter. I see. Some people think I'm good at these things, and that's why I'm out here yapping. It's like, no, I'm terrible. That's why I'm on here talking about it. I've learned how to do them the hard way. Everything I've learned is kind of the hard way. And so that's why I like sharing it, because you might as well. Yeah, I honestly, like, I keep listening to this music because it's heavy. And I'm going to switch to vinyl. I can't chat. I need vinyl. And I also need, I have certain things I listen to. We're going to go Mozart right now. Wolfgang, Amadeus, Mozart. And here's a fact, or not. I heard that Mozart was originally born with the name Wolfgang Gottlieb Mozart. And Gottlieb is German. God love. Amadeus is the same word. So he changed it from German to Italian. Wait, Amadeus? Amadeus. It sounds Latin. Anywho, I heard he changed his middle name. Anybody seen the movie Amadeus? Highly recommend that movie. One of my favorite films of all time. And not only that, hold on here, I'm changing the record. And we will have vinyl now. What? There we go. God, if I don't listen to classical music every day, I lose my mind. I don't know how people listen to only rock music. Now, I'm a rock and roll dude all the way. I listen to punk, metal, thrash, black metal, death metal, all of the above. I love that stuff. I like Gwar. I like monster rock. I like all that stuff. But if I don't listen to classical music, I go bonkers. I need to hear... Oh, you can't even hear it. It's more for me then. Can you hear that? No? You can't hear that? It's funny because it's loud here. Maybe I have a weird setting on right now that I need to take off. Elizabeth can hear. I turned it up too, right? Cool. Yeah, I can't listen. I need jazz and classical every day. That's it. That's my jam. It like opens my head up. That's it. It's too low. I read a thing on how people today that listen to only pop music, what it does to your brain. It's not good. It's audio textures. The new music only has certain audio textures, and they're like this many. And if you go back in time 30 years ago, 20 years ago, there were this many. Way more. And then it has to do with the way they produce the music. It's the same thing. It's like really not good. And it's repetitive, and they have computers writing this stuff. It's not even humans. They spit out new pop songs, you know? It's not good for you. Jazz. I'm a jazz freak. Lots. And I don't listen. It's not background music. I mean, it can be. But I listen. I like sit and... I can't believe people don't do that anymore. Back to the New Year's thing. So this year, okay. So the resolutions I've made in the last few years, simple. Drink more water. Pretty easy. Not really, but for me it's hard. I was not drinking water. I was drinking only soda. And it's ironic that I'm drinking soda today. If somebody gives me a case of Moxie, I drink the case, and then it's gone. I then go back to the water. Or juice or smoothie, healthier options. So I did that a few years ago, and it was successful. I definitely increased my water intake. Last year, my resolution was yoga, and then COVID happened. Now, my fault. Instead of the class getting canceled and me just not doing it anymore, I should have immediately started doing it online regularly with a real teacher. We were all freaking out and didn't know what the hell was going on. I needed to hurry up and figure out how to make money like that, which I'm still figuring out. Don't get me wrong. This is not easy in this new world where live entertainers are in big trouble. So I stopped doing yoga. And I'm not back on it. So my resolution this year, I had to make 2, even though it says only to do 1, but one is just get back to yoga, and that's fine. I'll be able to do that. The second one is just for business-wise, right? I have online shows that I do. Not this. Private party on Zoom. That's fine. But my goal this year is for this. Bam. This right here, M. Diaboli, is what I need to focus on because that is the brand name under which I am going to be releasing product. Things. T-shirts. Tchotchkes. Stuff that's going to be really fun. And I'll give you a little clue. This is the first time I'm saying this publicly. One of the things I'm working on with a candle company that makes really, really fancy candles, subscription-based. I'm going to be collaborating with that company and doing a Cardone candle. And I believe the name of the candle is going to be Carpathian Fantasy. And it will be the most unique candle on Earth. And I can't tell you why yet. It definitely will be the first of its kind, and maybe the last of its kind. And it will be available, I don't know when. Sooner than later. I'm one of those dudes, if I'm working on something, I get it going quick. I don't wait around. And so that will be, well, this candle's going to be, wow, collectible, I think. Cool, like. And I'm working now on the scent and the qualities with the candle person. Now, the candle, scented, yes, it will be scented to my standard, to what I like, which I think you guys are going to like. But I'm working now. The company already does a subscription candle, regular candles, soaps, all handmade, all organic, all like locally sourced, everything. Really, like really cool stuff. And they supply a lot of boutique hotels and things like that. And I'm friends with the lady that's the boss. And years ago, she said, hey, we should do something. And I just kind of, yeah. But now I'm like, let's do it. So it's going to happen. If anybody here knows me, you know if I set a goal publicly, I pull it off. I have to. I have no choice. Oh! times where I've announced things publicly and been like, oh boy. My milk can escape. One day I'll do a show on just that. I'll tell the story of that because it's... I think my milk can escape caused my claustrophobia that's kind of extreme that I have now as an adult. I didn't have that before. Now I do. And I think it's because of me putting myself in some extreme situations. I'm not sure yet. Eric says, I love this. He's like, my wife makes candles. I'll buy one if she'll probably kick my ass, but I might have a chance. I might have to chance it. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, she might. But when you tell her what's in the candle, she might be like, oh wow, I want one. I'm gonna make it unique. I'll give you a clue. The lady that owns the company was like, man, too bad we don't have, because she puts things in the candle, like herbs and spices and different things. She's like, too bad we don't have something to put in the candle to make it really unique and you. And I said, I do have something. So if you know me and you watch these shows, you might know what it is. You might be able to guess. And if you guess in the chat, I won't acknowledge it. So, but you can guess. I've publicly announced milk can. I remember when I said, hey folks, I'm going to do the milk can escape a year from today. I was like, oh God. I remember the anxiety for that was terrible. Running the Bulls, milk can, what else? Certain shows I've done. If you're producing a show, you have to announce it and then produce it. It's kind of like a resolution. You know, you're like, I'm going to do this. And then you got to fill in the blanks. Honestly, my character and my ego likes throwing it out into public. But I do agree with everybody in here and why my research says it's not always good to do that. That's why one of the things I've learned my whole life is my way ain't your way. And your way probably is not my way. It might be. We assume these things all the time, but it's just the way it is, you know? It's not, we don't all have the same background or story. So we're going to have different combination locks to get it to work. And I try to look at everything like that. I try to look at like everything with open eyes of like, look, I don't know where this is coming from. You know? Here's some cool quotes on resolutions. Listen to this. Check this out. There were two vices much blacker and more serious than the rest. Lack of persistence and lack of self-control. Persist and resist. Anybody know who said that? Epictetus or Epictetus. Silly, what's up? Epictetus is where Marcus Aurelius learned all of his stuff. Yeah, it's important every day of your life. Oh, so how do the Stoics handle resolutions? So this is where I think toxic positivity comes into play. When you have alone time. When you are alone and you're thinking about your life, let's say before you go to bed, the Stoics like putting yourself in mental anguish as a training tool. Or thinking about what it would be like to be in this situation and how horrible it might be. Or literally living that way for a few days. Or fasting. Or wearing uncomfortable clothing, right? So one of the things they thought you should do is review your life every day when you go to bed. When you lay down to go to bed, you lay down and you're like, all right, notice when I go to bed, I do the vampire thing just to add a habit. But I'm in bed and you're like, all right, what did I do today? What could I have done better? And now, uh-oh, what happened? Hold on. Did I drop out? Because it all of a sudden said, show your password. No, we're in. Okay. What the hell was I talking about? I have this habit of, like, if something goes wrong, I literally just go and forget what I'm doing. Oh, Epictetus. We're talking about your life at night, going to bed. Yeah, okay, so these guys, their whole thing was, no, my Wi-Fi password is long. I think it might have been my kids. Yeah, it was weird. Oh, okay, cool. So imagine you go to bed at night and you literally scrutinize your day. Even if it sucks, you're like, God, I screwed that up and I screwed that up and I'm trying to do this, but they thought it was very important to do that. I agree, 100%. When you're sucking and you're telling yourself you're awesome, that's bad. Yeah, someone was trying to log into my Wi-Fi, my kids. Hold on, let me, I never use this. Let me use this thing I made. Look, I did a, hey, be right back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back in. Just had to check something. I never use that be right back page. I think it's good to scrutinize yourself. I think it's healthy. There is a time and place for you to look in the mirror and say, hey, buddy, you're doing a good job. You know, what's the old Saturday Night Live thing? You're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like you. Remember that guy? What's his name? Stuart Smalley. There's a time and place for that. But that's, to me, toxic positivity. If you do it too much. You do have to critique yourself. Anybody that's a performer, I don't know if anybody does this. I know a lot of performers that don't do this. Actually, almost every single performer I know doesn't do this, and I don't know why, but every single show I do, yeah, daily affirmations, that guy, who ended up being a Democratic senator, which is pretty funny, and he fell from grace because of the Me Too movement, I believe. What was his name? Anywho. What the hell was I talking about? God, I'm so thinking now of Stuart Smalley. Daily affirmations. Toxic positivity, when you're constantly fluffing that ego thing in your brain, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. You're like constantly lying to yourself. Eventually you start to kind of believe the baloney and it's not going to work. That's Deep Thoughts by Jack Handey. I remember that. That's another one that was good. Stuart Smalley was played by, oh my God, what was his name? We'll get his name in a second. Peter Benedetti in the house. Peter, every time you jump in, I'm going to plug you. Because people need to see your art. This guy. In here, folks, go look at Peter Benedetti on Instagram. This guy rules. Killer art. He just wrote, making a habit of challenging yourself is the best way to live and grow as a person. 100%. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You'll like this. Al Franken. Yeah, that's it. But okay, so here's what I forgot I was going to say. I do this every time I do a magic show. Every show. I write down every show I do. It has a sheet of paper. Right? It's got the name, the date, the address, which agency booked me. Then it'll say, have they seen me? Yes, last year. You know, I keep track, right? So, one of the things I do, there's a spot on the sheet, what sucked. I write down what sucked about the client, bad parking, there was no dressing room, performance space not as they explained, whatever. But then I write down what I did that sucked, or what could have been better. Every show. And it has saved me so many times. It's also made me develop my show in a better manner. It's made me fix problems by doing it all the time. It's made me catch a problem before it arrives. So I booked a gig at a place, and I'm like, oh my God, I worked there last year, and no one paid attention. Why? There was music blaring in the other room, but so now when I rebook it, I go, oh, hey, by the way, I'll fix the problem. I can't believe people don't do these things. I don't do them digitally either. I do them on a piece of paper. And I have every single paid magic show on a sheet of paper in a file. Every single one. And I do look them up. If someone books me from a few years ago, I go look up the last time they booked me. I really try to always go, even if I have a good magic show, a good one, I do this exercise where I go, all right, what would have made them freak out even more? What could I have done, even though they loved it, that they would have loved even more? And it's a good place to creatively play. Because sometimes you come up with things that you never would have dreamed of. You're like, well, if I pull the chicken out of the refrigerator. Sounds far-fetched. It's not. I know people that perform with chickens all the time. Or ducks. It's not far-fetched. Being far-fetched sometimes is good. It helps. Where's the quote? Elizabeth! Are you in here, Elizabeth? If you are, put that quote about being outrageous in there. A really cool quote. I get it, but it's in my thing over here. I can't get it. It's in my phone. Al Franken. The reason why he got the boot was kind of weird. Al Franken, I think, got the boot because he took a picture where there was like a girl sleeping and he was like, I don't think he was groping her, but he was making it look like he was, and he took a picture and he fell from grace from that, which, I mean, maybe he is a creeper. He could be. I don't know. But the picture, we've all done dumb things in pictures, right? I mean, especially when I was in college and stuff. Wow, we've had a great group. You guys have, tonight, some good stuff's come through here. Anybody do anything special for New Year's? I'm curious. Where I grew up, we ate special food. Pennsylvania has like some weird New Year's Eve dishes. We would do sauerkraut, mashed potatoes, pork. Mind you, I'm from a 100% Italian family. And we still ate this German food on New Year's because I'm from Pennsylvania. But one of the things I always liked is cut up hot dog in the sauerkraut. Love it. Boom. Elizabeth, right here. Quote of the week. Be outrageous. People who achieve mastery have the ability to be outrageous. Gita Bellin. It's a great quote. We can go into that right now. I mean, that is... What does that mean, be outrageous? I think being outrageous, at least for me, means just being myself. Dolphin dip. I like that. Being outrageous. What does that mean, being outrageous? People tell me I'm outrageous all the time. It's just me being myself. I do things sometimes and I don't care. It's for me. I don't care. If I like something, I like it. If I don't like something, I don't like it. I'll tell people. Being outrageous means letting your freak fly. I mean, we all are freaks in a manner, and being honest with it, letting it out, Yeah, I agree. That is a good quote. It's just not... A lot of these quotes, the thing I like about reading quotes or studying philosophy, a lot of it's just obvious. You're like, yeah, obviously. But it's how it's written. The writer, he wrote in a little quote. If you phrase it right, it can speak louder, and that's a good one. Be outrageous! Exclamation point. People who achieve mastery have the ability to be. So this person's saying they have the ability to be outrageous, meaning they're not always outrageous, but they can let it out. See, this is why I like looking at these things. Being aware that you're being yourself, but truly not care what others think. Because I think you could easily do whatever you want, but still be, yeah, okay, yeah. But if you don't care, that's outrageous. Kendra, there you go. I love it. This is great. You see, this is why I do this show. I have a good audience that are smart and thoughtful. It does make sense, of course. Now, let's look at the real quote again. This is why I like philosophy, because I like to break it up a bit. So it's not saying you be outrageous like just you're outrageous. It's very specific. It says people who achieve mastery, so people that we know as masters, have the ability to be outrageous. It doesn't say they are always outrageous. So there's a little nuance to that, which I think is something that should be meditated upon, right? It means, like, okay, Elvis. Now, Elvis, you could say, was outrageous. I mean, he had this larger-than-life persona. I mean, he would do karate moves when he was singing. I mean, he's over the top. But he's also really shy. If you watch videos of Elvis, off stage and on stage, there's a little bit of a shy guy there. He's not like, hello, everybody. That's how I am. He's like, oh, hey, what's up? He's a little shy, right? And when he's being funny, he's kind of coy about it. Michael Jackson was also like that. Michael Jackson wasn't like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. He was weird and quiet. And every now and then, he would let it out. Michael Jackson let it out when he would dance. When that guy would go off, right? Same with Elvis. As soon as you see him goofing around and he's kind of shy and weird, and then he starts to sing, and my God, he's like, that's outrageous. Elvis' singing's outrageous. The power and beauty of his voice is over the top, you know? Good quotes equal nuggets of knowledge from Talon. Yes. Hey, if anybody's news watching, hit that subscribe button. So there's some new people in here. I'm trying to get to 1,000,000. It's hard. It's hard. YouTube, the algorithms made it easier in the old days. It ain't easy. When you're on YouTube, you're competing with Planet Earth and corporations now. Big companies that run YouTube channels. So if you hit that subscribe, it hooks me up. Thank you. Yeah, good quotes equal nuggets of knowledge. Now, I like to do something. I don't know if anybody does this, and I'm going to end on this. We all like good quotes. We all share them. I share them all the time. I like to handwrite them all the time when I share them. I like to handwrite them because it makes me take my time and look at what it is, and I don't know. But I also like writing my own quotes, compiling different ideas. And I try to make the quotes about what I've learned. Not necessarily like I'm trying to tell you behave this way. It's more like, from my experience, this is what I've learned. And by sitting there trying to make a quote that you would post publicly, not easy. You got to really think about it. You got to be like, all right, what am I trying to say here? In as few words as possible, but the words are going to paint the energy of the idea. Hard. I give you the challenge to do that. The other one is look up short stories that are only one line long. It's an exercise in minimalism. Rick Sherman's in here. We're always talking about this. You can write a whole story in like 5 words and make it really powerful. Sherman, if you're watching, what's the name of that legendary short story that's considered to be the saddest, shortest story ever written? If you're in here, write it out. It is good. I try to do the same with quotes. If I'm going to come up with something, I try to whittle it down to its smallest form. 9 parts outrage, 1 part social acceptability. Wow. I don't know if I agree with that, but I like it. It's funny. I like it. Now 9 parts. Who would that fit? Lemmy from Motorhead. He lived. Here it is. Look in the quotes. Here's the shortest. Oh, that's a LaVey quote. I didn't remember that one. What book is that one in? All right, Rick Sherman's writing the short story. It's only 4 words. Here it comes. I hate the delay. He wrote Baby Shoes. We'll get to it. I like the exercise of dissecting little lines. When I went to theater school, an acting program that I was in, we dissected things down to words. Literally words. Like, if you're saying a line, what's your intention with each word? Like, I've gotten that deep into this stuff. And you can do the same with quotes that you write out. Where the paragraph is, where the pause is. Any Shakespeare scholars know this. Every comma, pause, beat, measure has a reason. So look at it. Here it is. 6 words. Shortest, most saddest story ever written. You ready? For sale. Baby shoes. Never used. Wow. There you go. Oof. That's minimalistic storytelling at its finest, folks. I got 1 minute. Sometimes I go over. Tonight I'm going to keep it short. I got stuff to do. Okay, so anybody know what my favorite movie is? Some of you know this. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, I watched Flash Gordon for the 100th time. I don't know how many times. Yeah, Hemingway supposedly wrote that baby shoes story. And there's a scene in Flash Gordon that's one of the best acting. If I was doing an acting class for professional actors, I would show them the scene and be like, watch this. I should have shown this scene when I did my I don't like Tarantino movies episode. Is it? Oh, I didn't know. I'm going to look that up. I can't believe I must have not noticed that quote because I don't agree with it. I mean, I agree with it. I think it's great. It's funny. But it's interesting. So I'm watching Flash Gordon. There's a scene that always pops out. This is genius. All it is this. And if you know the movie, you can go find the scene and just watch it. It's really short and sweet, but the acting quality is subtle and really real. Hans Zarkov is trying to break the computer code to get in to shut off the shield to protect the castle. And as he's trying to do it, Prince Baron and Princess Aura are talking. And he's like, oh my God, they've changed the code. And Baron and Aura are like watching for guards, right? They're going to get killed any second. You know, they're on the run. And he's like, they changed the code. And he, looking at the guards, is like, I've changed too, Aura, because they're fighting. They have a bad relationship. And she's like, yeah, I'm too. And they have this like really crazy, heartfelt 3-second dialogue while they're in this intense situation. And it is perfect. And the whole movie's like that for me. There's like these little nuggets of like brilliant acting. I mean, really kind of cool stuff. And it's taken very seriously. You know, that's why I like that movie so much. It wasn't meant to be stupid. There are stupid parts in it, but it's a serious film. I mean, it's exciting. It's an action adventure movie. And And if you can't get serious, the cool parts aren't silly. You're close. Silly Swastika says, is Flash Gordon the film where the punishment is to stick your arm in the holy rock? So it's their initiation to become one of the people that, it's like it's an adult that live in Arborea, the Swamp Kingdom. But Flash Gordon is trespassing, so he also has to do it. And if you put your hand in the wrong hole at the wrong time, you get stung by a monster. And the monster, it stings you, and you eventually die slowly. So what they do is, if it stings you and you're going to die, you go, oh my God, I'm going to die. And they go, I'm going to spare you on your way. And then they stab you. It's amazing. When we were little kids, that's what we would do. We'd go in the woods and pretend we were in that scene. If you've never seen Flash Gordon, go watch it right now. Just stop and go watch it. It's got great music. I eventually will do... I'm going to do an episode on Flash Gordon one day. It's gonna, whoa. I'm going to write it down now. Let's do Flash Gordon. Gordon's alive. Yeah. Any hoozles. Folks, we had a good show tonight. A good crowd. I mean, really, great people. All I'm asking, at the end of this, if you like the show, hit subscribe. I do have people that donate. You don't have to donate. We're all broke. I get it. But if you have it, not starting soon, donations. There we go. There you go. Look, dude, I've made a decent amount from donations since I started this. I'm going to be honest. Enough to get microphones, all new lights, a lot of new stands, monitors, keyboard, all this. That's you guys paid for it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So any donations, go right in. $25 donation gets you on the list. There's a whole bunch of you on the list. Oh my God, I don't have my list here. That's fine. I'll read it on Wednesday. And on top of it, I'm on the way to get my camera. And I'm going to get a really fancy, nice camera. William has the quote. 9 parts social acceptability and 1 part blasphemy. That I like. That's it. Ba-boom. Wow. Correct. Blasphemy is where most truth lies. Think about that. Folks, you guys are awesome. I really enjoy this. It's exciting for me to see what people come up with. It gets me thinking. I hope I'm getting you guys to juice it out and think of different things. Yes, thank you, William. M. Diaboli is a new thing I'm working on with my buddy, and it's going to happen. It's happening. Subscribe, notify bell, like the video, tell your friends, tell your family, come on down, Cardone Entertainment. I'm always going to take this seriously and do the best show I can. And, guys, I love this. Interesting show, even though my mind was in blank. I like it. You guys rule, man. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to go out with the outro of the show in a second. But your homework, start looking up UFO stuff. Bob Lazar, Pentagon. Google these things. Pentagon UFO, Bob Lazar UFO, Area 51, right? Because I'm going to rip it apart a bit. And for those of you that believe in some of this, you might be shocked at what I have to say. But yeah. Thank you. Amanda, Silly, Talon, Hail Satan, Rod, William, Silly, Elizabeth, Sherman, Rick Sherman, Talon, Peter Benedetti, everybody in here. Amanda, everybody who's ever in here. I love you all. You guys are great. Thank you. Keep in touch. And Wednesday night, I'm going to be on live again. Party on Wayne.